This video is titled, Why Are Black Babies Being Aborted? And as black babies are being aborted, black babies are dying from SIDS. They're dying from other health conditions. They are being, uh, forced into this system to where parents may have to put them up for into the foster care or adoption system. They're being forced due to maternal mortality. They are, this is, my thing is, don't ask the question too much about why black babies are being aborted. If What are you doing advocating for the child care rates? It doesn't matter how much you work. If you work at Walmart, and even if you are RN, if you go to, first of all, you got to have child care before you go to school for RN. Even if you're a CNA, you can't afford to pay for child care cash, and people don't want to take that money. They're not dependable. They may do it for 1 month or 1 week or one time. That's just too undependable. Child care centers, they are getting, a lot of them are getting, so I have seen the ads, because I'm a researcher as the former host of State of the Black Parent on the Initiative Radio Network and Legacy of a Nation Network. There are child care agencies that are not accepting state aid pay. There has been many parties, whatever they could be, they are only accepting private pay, and the private pay is just unrealistic. A lot of them don't want to. They don't want to deal with the state agency. Um, I'm telling a little extra too much myself, but I myself for a second year have referred several. When I mean several, and it's just I don't know exactly what goes on once they're released or whatever like that. I know they don't have a criminal background because they're in a nursing program. The other jobs that they do work and the other assignments that most of them have, or they just got their their work status. So, and it has to be a poor communication going on. But for the second year, I have had to let, so they better not come talk about they ain't got no funding if a cold need to be treated or x-ray or whatever for my child, because you all have gotten there to save a lot of money, and a lot of money has went back. So I'm definitely, if there's any unemployed CNAs, definitely reach out to me wherever you are. Like I said, there are opportunities. Like a lot of stuff that I know now. A lot of people like a lot. No, I don't. Well, you may know a lot, but you have to be able to organize, action it. Very much like in Fire Sparks. Uh, you have to be able to do that because time is short. You have to get it right. You can't, what I'm saying, you can't be coming with no flaws. You have to come with your A+ on. The A- could even get you, coming up short, not getting your best value. These same folks that question about abortion, these folks don't help with no child care. If a mother got to go out to work because a threat of they can't pay the rent or to meet welfare requirements or to tend to their health, they can have a fatal health condition happening with them, and whether it's with their lungs, with one of their limbs, whatever it is, and you don't have someone that can come 2 days, or somebody may have to drive 2 to 4 hours or even 10 hours. They're driving just so that you could get that medical care and spend a weekend with you so that someone will be able to tend to your child. You can't leave your child with no anyone. Folks are very, You could pray all you want. That does not guarantee, and then you're going to still suffer the consequence even after you're praying if that person is not at least cordially responsible. Um, oh God, that's why I can't, every time people always talk about they pray so much, it just nagging like a mule. No, don't write up in that. No, you can't use no ink pens. No, sit down and read it. No writing. Stop tiptoeing. Stop tiptoeing. Sit down and stop tiptoeing. Don't get no ink pens out of there. See, I'm multitasking. So things not gonna be perfect, okay? And I'm not gonna keep starting and stopping the video, and I don't edit because it's just too much energy to it. It takes a lot of time to edit, even though it can increase your subscribers and people comforted. But take it as I am, or take it for a deck of cards. And Dick Gregory gave a great point about how, if a woman get there and she asks for some juice for her baby, she gets laughed at. So this is a message to all you that are so pro-life. I was at a pro-life protest. I was just going through there because it was en route. I wasn't attending or whatever like that. But it was a pro, and these church folks here are talking about. So I said, well, what are you doing at the social service office to help these mothers with their children? They want you to be dependent on a church. Who want to be in such an oppressive occult position? The church get all up in your business and they just give you rare crumbs, just as or worse than the welfare office. I mean, you just take an observance at some of their pantry, all those pork and grapefruit juice and bent cans and stuff like that, and GMO foods and stuff. Look, and then they tell you stuff like you're supposed to accept it because, okay, we're giving it to you, so it's okay for us to give it to you. Oh, it's okay, whether no, I'm not gonna accept it. I'm not be satisfied with it. I'm not to apply it, because when I get sick from it, you ain't gonna come advocate to the body when the body getting sick and they say no, you shouldn't take that. And a lot of times you have to follow what your body say of you not to take stuff or eat certain foods. It could be fresh. You're not to eat anything. And that's why allergies are overtaking a lot of folks, because you could eat something that's not with your agreements with your blood or your body, and you can have like a SIDS reaction or a carrying demonics inside of yourself. Like a lot of folks, they don't eat beans and stuff like that. And a lot of folks are allergic to strawberries. That's that could have something to do with the vaccines. It's a hybrid. Is it a hybrid fruit? I remember saying when I was younger, I was telling my granny, I said that a strawberry was the mix of a berry and a straw, and that's why they call it a strawberry. I forgot the response, but she definitely was smiled about it. And I was so happy they had the garden. But the insects would always eat up the strawberries, and the only thing would survive would be the peas, the green beans, and the tomatoes and stuff. Oh gosh, I sure wish I could grow me a garden one day. Get the energy. I just definitely want to get more. Um, Now, but I believe I've covered the basis. There's not who wants to be bringing a child here suffering and punishing themselves and always explaining something. You could have a child at 40, be done worked all your years, get sick or whatever, get in a relationship that the other person wasn't thinking for the good of both of you all, and Oh, they still, oh, you shouldn't, and the person could be done had the baby at 40, 37. Oh, you shouldn't have had that baby. Oh, you know, there's always something. And they got to let people that they tell it to, because obviously it's doing no good to these people that got many children, always have a baby every year. And it's not doing, they still having their babies, they still getting their services, and they definitely not bothered one bit. Oh, it good because they ain't getting told it. I don't know. No, you're not saying that too much around them, but you're watching how light just say it. Um. So until you're there advocating for proper child care coverage, quality child care providers, housing, proper resources, diapers are expensive, especially when they got diarrhea. I'm telling you, you're gonna use about 3 cases. That going out 6 o'clock in the morning to get buses to walk across town to make sure people have you make multiple trips, because I don't play that. Like I said, I don't play that waiting until the last 1 or 10 diapers run. I don't play that. Now I may kind of do that with the wipes, because hopefully somebody ain't gonna be stingy enough to give me eight quarters to go get some wipes for my baby. But I don't play that. I don't play that with no wipes. No, you need 3 cases when they got diarrhea, and when they born. Oh gosh, I remember using. I literally used 1 case in a week. I literally did, and it had like 90 something Pampers, I think, in it. I remember I used 1 case in a week, because every 3 to 4 hours they wake up and their diaper is soaking wet. Every 3 to 4 hours. You don't get a break. Um, and then you supposed to keep an emergency bag in case some kind of hurricane, Katrina thing, or you got a gas leak, or anything could happen. You all, because I don't want to be going nowhere, and my baby immediately, I gotta be immediately begging for Pampers. Somebody say, "But hold up, we got a pamper truck coming in, 12 hours or something like that." I want to have at least enough Pampers plus some. No, I don't like that cutting to the cutting. And formula is expensive, and dealing with these old monopoly WIC clinics, they have to where you have only one WIC clinic you go to, and they take over every program. They know too much of your business, and they just add. Oh gosh! And then the formula that they cover, it don't be the best kind. And then just to give you $6 worth of fruit, I gotta tell you all my goddamn business. Oh gosh, forget that. You're gonna spend more than that up in the taxi fare. Then you aren't get certain brands that aren't organic, or they had this one. Let me give you one good example. I don't want to say good. Let me give you one mediocre example, because you got a lot of sub basic folks. Um, they had this good. Oh my goodness, I love that. It was these cookies and bread company. And so since they have been I don't know if they just got covered because being in a northern state. Um, it's a big quality brand. But as you check the ingredients, you see the ingredients are not as simple as back from the 80s and the 90s and stuff like that. And the bread tastes like hell. The cookies taste bland. Like I can't even explain what the cookies taste like. The cookies aren't covered on Wix, so let me get that straight before that's even put out there. What I'm saying the company, uh, one of they have a product or products that are covered on Wix, but the cookies aren't covered. But I'm speaking about they make cookies and bread. So I can't even explain the cookies. I don't even buy it no more. And I ain't gonna even say what, but I don't know what it is. Some kind of hater that's getting blessed and highly favored in job CEO positions or something. Gotta be going around and stuff I like. Always go out. I'm telling you, just like the mental dent toothbrush. I don't know what it was. I was loving that. Cause that was what I used to get on my allowance of mental dent toothbrush and toothpaste. Cause it just, oh my goodness, I love the way that it just brush your teeth. It just was, oh my goodness. I don't know what happened to that company, but it was short lived. But every time I like something, it's like it's always something coming in competition, competition to tear it down. Like, oh no, this a shitty thing that must be available. Just basic. Just want everybody to be basic compared to stupidity. So this company here, like I say, that's when I got there. So they been there, like I said, they been there ever fix their miles. I let them take that weak shit back. Before I like that, I couldn't deal with that. You're not gonna have me coming out for that bullshit. Then it takes so long in line. And then if it's somebody underage or a new worker cashier, you gotta separate the order from your other stuff. It's holding up the line and stuff like that. Then if you're already riding on the bus and you fool around there and be to miss the bus by 1 minute or something like that and gotta wait for the next one. Oh, I let them keep that shit after, so they better not ever get that time out some over I ain't take that much of, goddamn it. I let y'all have that shit at a certain point. Once that milk was the milk was gone, and after, like I said, everything had to be kept up with. But you don't care. I know I feel don't feel right. I ain't even trying to keep up with this no more. Whatever it is. It's a bullshit ass program. Yeah, some people it need it when they don't have nothing. They in absolute or pure absolute. They need something, but it needs to be better. You just folks have to stop just being basic. GMO, like they GMO basic. That's just how basic they are. They okay with GMO as long as I get some food in my body. And then your health care provider don't know how to treat you or what to give you or tell you go take Tylenol. This come back to why aborted babies. Yeah, it explain it all. If you come back after this here talking about there ain't no reason, that's because you ain't doing nothing. You just talking and praying, and you are to be ignored. I am not for abortion. I don't, because there are. How are you advocating for those Christian hospitals do abortions, okay? And they do it in large numbers, and a lot of us know this here. It be one of those kind of things. We see stuff, but everybody else, I don't know. They playing BHL where it never happened to me. I don't know too much about. Yeah, it's been you just ignore. Maybe you ignore it. I don't. I ain't even try to pet peg it, but now. There are people that are having involuntary abortions. Don't come asking what that means. It's simple. It's a word that you can put into the dictionary or thesaurus. Involuntary, like you involuntary got fired or whatever like that. Involuntary or involuntary. Go advocate on that stuff. Go put your defense in that. But those women that voluntarily do it, I don't want to be a nag. I don't want to be a drag, and I don't want it to be where they don't repair and move on to their lives. And then some of them get to the point they get addicted to abortions. Birth control does not work. Not saying it doesn't work at all, but it's not going to work all the time. It's not going to work all the time. I believe we've covered everything. So until you tackle those pointers that I've mentioned in this article, there really is not a further discussion that needs to be had about it. And I will talk to you all later. This video is going into, 19 minutes. So why black babies being aborted is not really a focus. Take care of what's here. Get their justice. Make sure it's not put into the vaccine. Are there enough maternity homes? Who want to deal with the welfare? Until you are there in those shoes, can't anyone really judge too hard or too harsh. You can have your opinion, your view, but don't be a nagger. TTYL, #vaccine exempt.